So what you want to start off with, so getting their thumb into a little bit of flexion. Because if you start out here already, you've got nowhere to protect the tape's not going to be able to pull it back. Okay. Start. So because you want to come, so the tape is going to want to pull down in that direction. So you want to come over the top here first. Okay. Don't want to go too high. Just through there. Now, this is one that everyone does a little bit different. Okay. So same thing. You can go straight across. You can come straight in. Pulling down. Sorry. Okay. At this point, two options. Go straight into the cross, or, as our guys like to do, they go straight over to a lock at the top, and then the cross. I actually didn't used to do this, and I've recently done it, and actually it does feel a lot better, I reckon. So, coming across, back of the wrist, and then you're coming up a little bit further. Now, depends on what joint you're trying to. So, if you're trying to block this main one, you've got to make sure the crossing the tape is reinforcing on that joint. Some guys need that the end joint to be done as well, so then you've got to make sure you go over that. So you just got to know the same thing, what you're trying to achieve with the tape. And the key with catching sports, you don't want the palm to be affected at all. You don't want any tape in there because okay, go around again. Now I could have, see how I'm slowly pulling you out, I'm just doing that to show, but I can still keep you in here, because you're going to see in a second that when you try and do that, you're probably going to be able to move. Right? I've blocked too long. And then, lock right off, right at the top. So, by having her further down, so just for demonstration, so I opened up so we can see, by having her further down here, I would have restricted that further. And if it's a person that just needs a little bit of support, they don't dislocate, they haven't got a history of dislocations, history of subluxations, it would be enough. But if you did have a player that did, then you'd be using some of your rigid to provide, I say underneath this, to provide that extra little bit of support. And you do that by basically limiting that, so it's the same movement of coming and pulling that down that way. Now the thing with fingers, circulation, alright? So you go too tight, which I reckon we're nearly done here because you're going blue. I showed you because that's how you're not to do it. But, so you're just using your rigid underneath, okay? And you can do layers. So you can do this, because it's harder to manipulate, you can do it and just go rip and go again and then weave your way up. Okay? So each their own about that, but you can actually, and you don't have to do the top lock. You just got to make sure these bottom bits go into the wrist so that you can lock off the whole thing when you're doing it with your stretch after.